Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and our kind of clean Volvo 340 DL. So, if you haven't caught up with the video so far, we scrapped this car out from its resting place for 25 years. It was parked up in 1997. We've got it back, it rolls, which is quite amazing really. And we've given it a good old wash, which was probably one of the most exciting things I've done probably since getting this workshop. It was quite fun, I'm not gonna lie. I wanna do more of that. So in this video, I promised I walk around the car and kind of what's wrong with it that I can see now, and a bit of a game plan for the coming videos. So a lot of people have been asking me what I'm going to do with the car. So that is one thing I really want to address in this video, and I hope it doesn't annoy anyone or anything like that, but it's what I want to do with the car. But really what I want to get stuck into is for you guys to see the contrast of our shiny wing to what's left and what it could be. And yeah, moving forward, what we can try to do with the car, the things I'm going to have to kind of encounter and get over. Yeah, let's just get stuck into it, guys. So before we get stuck into the walk around of this car, please just take a minute to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the playlist a look around. We've got all sorts of bits and bobs going on the channel. Check out our sponsors. So we've got Frost. They've been a big sponsor of this car so far with the cleaning products, and they're going to be moving forward. Also Minimine, if you're here for the channel for classic minis, there is a discount code for Minimine. They're for like all your classic mini bits and pieces, anything you need, they're a good company. So please go check out both of these sponsors. There is links in the description below, and I will put some discount codes on the screen now. Well, let's get stuck in to the Volvo 340. So let's just start at the front of the car. First of all, I think it's a great looking car. This people don't like these cars, but it's a boxy Volvo. What can't you love about it? So let's start at the front of the car. What needs doing, what's good, what's bad. So all the lights seem pretty decent. There's no cracks, there's no chips in the lenses. Obviously I don't know anything works yet, we haven't put a battery on it. Grill's in really good shape. I only like it, it's like the egg crate style grill. All the wipers are there. Again, I don't know if they work. Original dealership plates. So it's the John Woolwork of Manchester. Apparently it's a Mercedes dealership now, as a good friend has told me, but it's not a Volvo dealership anymore, but it was at the time, and everything on this car relates to that dealership, which is really, really cool. One of the reasons why I really wanted it. So if you haven't caught the previous episode, we polished this wing, and I left you with a bit of a sneak peek. So you can see at the very top there, the paint is obviously a little bit damaged in places. It's got like, I don't know if it's got lacquer on it or if it's just slightly damaged, but it looks so much better, as you can see from the rest of the car. If we can get the whole car to look like this, that'd be pretty cool. The car itself isn't that rusty. We'll get stuck into the issues with the rust that the car does have, but I was expecting worse, but don't get me wrong, we've got a lot of work to do rust wise. So looking around the car, it is a DL. So I believe the DLs came with this chrome trim. Please correct me in the comments. I don't know much about these cars, but I believe from looking at pictures, the DL had the chrome trim. Going inside the car, so we'll get stuck in here very quickly. Again, it's so Volvo-like, so good. So inside the car is obviously completely original, but when you jump in, you're greeted with obviously a nice big steering wheel like Volvos have. Very kind of normal 80s functional stuff. It's got obviously things like, you know, the original radio and stuff like that, which is quite cool. It's got a CB radio bracket, so I want to find the radio if I can. It is a automatic, obviously. Down here we've got a few switches. Unsure what that one is. Anyone can tell me what that is? That one looks like obviously rear wiper, but I don't know what that is. So that'll be interesting. In here, it's pretty cool. It's got an original Volvo touch-up pen, which I'm hoping, has it got the paint code on it? Oh, it still moves the paint as well. So we'll leave that there. So yeah, the car has covered 84,760 miles, which is, you know, barely enough, anything for a Volvo. Basic switch panel, so you've got your lights for the dash, I assume, in your wipers here. That switch feels a bit weird. Moves, but yeah, so you've got your lights here, all your vents and stuff like that. You've got hazard switches, basic heating controls, and original radio by the looks of it. Yep, Volvo written on the radio, so it'd be quite cool if that works. Might have to get some cool old cassettes. Anyone want to donate some cassettes? We've got to have some cassettes in there, haven't we? That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, one thing I really like about this car, and I found in it already, is this. So it's got vehicle ready for delivery with a registration number on it, and it says 1994 or 8, I can't quite make that out. So it's for something to do with repair of the vehicle, but obviously I want to keep that. It's part of the car. I've dried it out now, so I'll keep that in the car. So looking in the back of the car, it's a bit mouldy, so I don't want to go too deep into there, but they like little bucket seats in the back. They're quite cool. Headliner is absolutely immaculate. It could just do a bit of a wipe down. Basic sun visors, again, just needs a wipe down. Everything's really clean in there. Even got a vanity mirror for the female passengers on the side. In here, what have we got in here? Absolutely nothing. Fair enough. Spare, that packet's really disintegrated. We had a bulb. Some spare bulbs. Attached this holder, which is again got the Volvo dealership on it, which is absolutely mad. So they had Manchester, Liverpool, Audley Edge, Altrincham, Kendal, Worcester and Kidderminster. So they're quite a big franchise, didn't they? So this is the inside. The doors, again, very basic. There's all sorts of receipts and stuff which we'll probably get stuck into. So yeah, we'll get stuck into that later down the line. Doors, again, are just filthy, absolutely filthy. But all windows, everything works nice. Everything goes up, which is good. So that's a brief description of the inside. Rear windows, I assumed they popped out and opened, but they don't. They look like they're fixed, which is cool. One less thing to leak. Down the back of the car, again, you can see some of the paint's quite shiny. This is kind of where we've been pushing the car and things like that. But it's just flat. It's really flat, and there's primer starting to break through in places. But I'm hoping it comes up as good as that wing, and then we can rock the Survivor look. The boot, it's kind of a bit burnt through there. So it's obviously where people have been closing it. But, oh, boot feels so heavy. Gas struts have gone. 2 seconds. Let's see what, oh. So with the boot secured, in the boot, it's massive for a start. We have got a parcel shelf there. It's a little bit warped by the looks of it, but this is massive. In the back, we've got a very disintegrated bag. Probably should be wearing gloves really. Got some rope. You know, you always need some rope in your car. Some old wheel weights. A bit of piping. An old valve. A pair of gloves. Jaffa cakes. Look at that. We want to get all this out because it's a bit damp in here. Found one of the mud flaps was under the car, but it hasn't got Volvo written on it, so I don't know which one it is. And then there's one here that's missing off the car that has got Volvo on it. Just got paper bag all over it. There's an old booklet or something here. I don't know what that is. Whatever it is pretty boggered. Here we've got, it looks like a used fan belt, but we've got a genuine Volvo fan belt, so we'll keep that. Some wipers that have obviously been fitted at some point. £4.95. Yeah, and then we have got this really cool CB aerial. So we'll have to have a look at this on the car, won't we? Let's stick this up on it. Look at that. How cool is that? So yeah, we've got a little CB aerial. Gas struts are gone in the boots, we need to sort that. So you probably, some of you did notice in the video, so let's kind of just take this moment to focus. We've done the inside, the boot's full of rubbish really, which we'll go through and get rid of and clean out. Rust wise, what have we got to deal with? So I do apologise for the shutter rattling around. The lower valance on this side is needs a repair, but all the spring hangers, the rear chassis and everything looks really decent. Tow bar I plan to keep. I've got to have a tow bar on it, it's a Volvo. The back panel is what everyone noticed in the cleaning video. So this is actually really bad. If you push on this, it's flexing quite badly. So I'm hoping to get a body cut of a car potentially, maybe halfway down the back of the lights, and then put this panel in, because they just don't make panels for these cars. But all the lights are in great shape. So we've got welding to do there, welding to do there. It's also gone in here, so hopefully I can get the body cut of the car and do that piece as well, if not a bit of fabrication work. Rust wise as well, this rear window is actually, I think it's this side, it's actually lifting out of the car, which is not ideal. The boot has gone all the way along there. I want to find a boot which is potentially the correct colour, because it's gone along here as well. If not, we will have to just have a go at making all this, which might be quite fun. Would you like me to do the fabrication? Because one of the reasons why I got this car is for some really tricky things to repair on it. So we've got the boot to obviously repair or replace with one with the correct colour. So we've got welding at the back, boot to repair. It's not looking good so far, is it? But all the way down here, like the seals and stuff on the car, not the best of light, I do admit, are in absolutely great shape. So let me grab a torch. But the lower part of this car is in great shape. The door's a bit rusty, and the rusty's ran down the car like that. The jacking point there, which kind of looks a bit scabby, but is actually really good. But the whole chassis rails of this car is so good. There's no welding that I can see that needs to be done under the car. Round the scuttle doesn't look too great, so there's a bit of bobbling going on there. Same on the other side, but that doesn't need welding. That will need welding for MOT at the back. Boot, obviously we want the window to be secure and bonded back in, so that needs to be done. Let me just grab this awesome bonnet. I love how that opens, look at that. So in the engine bay, there's a hole here, which will need to be sorted. A hole there, which again will need to be sorted. And the internal structure of the bonnet has gone on this side. So what we'll probably do is just make that and try and replicate it the best we can. And it's gonna need a little repair just on the front edge there. In here isn't so bad. So a lot of people wanted to see the engine, which is obviously quite a big part of this vehicle. Genuine Volvo battery as well. In here, it's all complete. The fuse box looks really good. I've had this cover off, we cleaned all around in here. It needs a proper hoover now, it's all dried out. But the biggest problem we have got, if you can just go down into there, so you see, if I can try and show you the best I can, that bar there, that runs across the front of the engine, and it's got the engine mounts on. That is really heavily corroded, and I've just found another one on eBay, so we'll be fitting that. Front panel, it needs a bit of a repair down there, so I need to work out how I'm going to tackle all this yet. It's quite amazing when you look at this. It's made in the Netherlands, obviously not Swedish, because this, we'll get into a little bit of history in a second, isn't kind of a true Volvo in the Volvo world. So on this side again, wings in really, really good shape, nothing to do here. Kind of a bit of corrosion on this side as well, but this is where the spare wheel would have sat. I've taken it out, it's over there. It's got a little strap that goes across to it there. But look, it's got the toolkit and everything in here. It's all secure, it's all there. But yeah, we need to get stuck into this engine. If you take the cap off, let's have a quick gander. Incredibly clean in there. So I'm really happy with that. There's oil in it as well. And obviously we'll check if it turns over and stuff in the starting of the car, hopefully. Again, a bit of corrosion on the scuttle here. This side again, the door is a little bit rusty at the bottom, but it's not dreadful. It's not going to fail an MOT. Seal again is really good this side. Floor's really good this side. Door looks like it's been pushed shut so many times here. It's actually worn through. So again, Not really a massive issue. And this side's really good. There's no rot in the arches. If I can just try and grab the torch, it's so clean in here. It's got red paint. All the arches look like this. So that's just dirt still that we haven't got out. But that is all just really good. So you see it's still green behind there. But yeah, the car itself, it really isn't that rusty. So a little bit of a history lesson of what I know of the vehicle. Please comment away and correct me. I'm not claiming to be an expert on these vehicles at all. I like the bigger Volvos really, like, you know, 740s and 240s, 940s, stuff like that. And obviously we've got the Amazon, which is a, you know, a big car. From what I know about this car, so the car is basically a DAF. So if you Google DAF, obviously their own car company, very well known for making trucks. But way back when, they made a car called, I think they did an earlier one as well, but the one I know of, because I nearly bought one, was a DAF 66. And I believe this is meant to be, a bit of rust there, it's basically a DAF 77, correct me if I'm wrong. But basically DAF was struggling at the time, and Volvo wanted to put a small car into the market to kind of compete with the likes of the Volkswagen Golf GTI, the Fiestas and all that sort of stuff that was going on at the time. So they wanted a small car in their range, but also obviously every company doesn't want to spend loads of money to do that. Volvo are very well known for the big red block cars, big, you know, boat-like cars. So they needed to get something smaller out there. DAF was struggling, but the Volvo saw the opportunity with a French engine that they'd already got. So it's got a Renault engine, this car. This one's got the Varimatic, the CVT gearbox, which is belt driven, which is something we're going to get stuck into, which intrigues me a little bit. Volvo saw the opportunity basically. There was a car already there with an engine. It was already kind of, everything was secured with Renault for the engine. Volvo didn't have to put as much into it, but obviously wanted to put their safety stamp on it, put their styling stamp on it, stuff like that. So this is where the Volvo 300 came from. I could be completely wrong. This is just what I found out myself and what I already knew about the cars. But this, so I think that you can get them in a manual gearbox, obviously, 5-speed manual. This is the CVT 1.4, so it's a Varimatic belt-driven box. And I believe you could get up, I think they did eventually towards the end do like 1.7 diesels, and I think they did do a sportier one, which is, I think, was 2 litre. Again, I could be completely wrong, guys. I'm just going on what I found out. But I do really like this car. I think it's a little bit quirky, a little bit different. And one of them cars that's just forgotten because a lot of people think it's a bit rubbish. But for me, it's got the right badge on it. It's a cool red colour, and it's a mint car for the channel. I really am excited to work on it, and it will probably look quite cool alongside our fleet. So, while I've got your attention, shall we talk about plans? So, one of the biggest comments I've got since getting this car is, what am I going to do with it? So, the people I bought the car off, original owner is John, and then the neighbour's Pete has helped us move the car, and he's dealt with everything. He's looking after the original owner of this car, basically. I promised them that the car would not get broken for spares. I think that's why we came to a deal with the vehicle, which is obviously I'm grateful for, and thank you both very much for that. I don't want to break it for spares. I think it's got way too much about it to break it for spares, and if we break all of these cars for spares, there's going to be none left on the road, isn't there? So my plan with this car going forward, so hear me out. So first of all, it's not going to be changed. So the plan for the first phase, and then we'll just see how we get on with having it on the road, is to get the bodywork looking like this, obviously do all the necessary welding it needs. So we're going to have welding on the car, and we're going to get the engine running, and we're going to get it drivable and get it on the road. I want to keep this car kind of with the survivor look, shall we say. If you know the channel, you know we like a survivor car. Our clubby estate has never been restored and stuff like that, and it gets a lot of attention, a lot of comments, because it is just as they were back in the day. Tatty, rough around the edges, but used, and that's what I love about a car. I love the fact that it's just used. So the plans with the car is we're going to get the bodywork looking kind of close to this, lovely smooth bodywork. Then we're going to obviously get it running. So I'm a bit delayed on getting it running because I'm looking for bits and pieces. I obviously got that cross member that I need to sort out. I've just bought a battery for it. I've got some oil for it. We're going to have to find some way of getting it running on a spare fuel can, which is just a fuel container we could use. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge. But my plan for the car is, and I don't want to bore you with it, I want to keep it as it is. I don't want to change it. I don't want to put wheels on it. I don't want to modify it in any way. I don't want to lower the suspension. I genuinely just want it to be a little Volvo. So I hope you're all happy with that. A lot of you did kind of want me to do that in the comments, but I have had some mad suggestions. One that stuck out to me, which I just thought was great to read anyway, was making it into a monster truck, as that would be quite a fun project, I'm not gonna lie, quite a cool fabrication, but not with this car. So the reason I fell in love with this car a little bit was because it's just so genuine. It's a one owner from new car. It's got all the dealership stuff with it. It's not been mucked around with, and that we know of, it was parked up because it was a good running car. It was parked up because the owner got offered £1 trade-in, and he's like, don't want that. Parked on the driveway, and I believe he went and bought a green one of these cars. So yeah, it's quite a nice story really. I don't want to lose that, and I want to carry it on. So I hope you can respect that. I want to keep it original. I want to just kind of sympathetically get it back on the road. So mechanically, safety wise, it's got to be on point. It's got to pass a MOT to be road legal and taxed, and then back on the road. And then basically I want to rock it around. I want to take it to some shows. I want to take it to some events. I want to daily it to and fro the workshop. And then if we get to a point where we are really quite enjoying it and it proves to be quite a good little car, I will probably respray it. So that's the plans, guys. I hope you're ready for it. How do I look? Just need a flat cap now, don't I? Right, so I hope you're happy with the plans, guys. I'm really happy with how it's going to move forward. I'm collecting parts for the car. There's loads of people on the Facebook forums and stuff this car are really quite on board with it and trying to help me get the bits and pieces, which I thank you all for that. I don't know any of you personally, but it's already proving to be a really great community. Obviously subscribe to the channel. This car, I don't know how fast it's going to move, so please don't kind of come at me for not weekly videos on this car maybe. We're obviously busy with the middies and stuff like that, and want to try and get my Amazon over the rust hurdle and stuff like that. But that being said, we're just going to collect the parts. The biggest problem with this car is parts. There's just no following for them really, and it's one of them cars that's forgotten. So bear with me, guys. I'm hunting for parts. If there's anything you have for a 340 which you think I might need, please just email me, simpsonsclassics@outlook.com, and I'll obviously have a deal with you. It'd be great. So I have got a few bits on order, like I say, and moving forward, we hopefully should get it running. I'm quite confident it will run, having just a look over it. So the next video is going to be cleaning the inside and polishing the outside. The reason why I'm going to do that first is because it's a task that's not going to cost me any money. I'm going to have to wait for parts anyway, and to start this car, it needs to be done properly. I don't want to just turn the key and hope for the best. So I will catch you in the next one, guys, when we get cleaning on this car a little bit more, and hopefully can show you a bit of a parts haul of what we've got. Remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment away. I don't know too much about these cars, so anyone that's got any knowledge, it's welcome, trust me. But yeah, catch you next one, and we get even, well, shiny.